Hello students, myself Asik Anand, a volunteer from Disha Counseling Forum under Fast for India, is here to tell you about the career opportunities in banking. From a career, the terms that come into our mind is what, why and how. What? What are the opportunities that lies in a particular career, whether you are doing an engineering, you are pursuing a law, you are going through medical, whatever. The first thing you should know about a career is what are the opportunities, what do employees in a particular career do. Second thing, why? Why should you choose a career? There are millions of careers. Everywhere, every time you see a career of an employee pursuing a different type of career. So the thing you need to know is why. Why should you opt for a career? The thing come to mind is interest. When you know about what lies in a career, then you come to know, are you really interested in it or not? And the last thing, when you are pretty much determined to take a career, to take it as your dream, how to get through that? What are the opportunities, what are the exams and competitions, what are the whole and soul processes to enter into that career? Banking. It is a career which is for those enthusiasts, those students who have interest in accounts and finance, who are interested to know about global economy. Why banking as a career? Like students in class 12 pursuing any dream, maybe science, commerce, arts or anything. Banking is open after class 12 or after graduation for all types of streams. Maybe it be from students from science stream, commerce stream, art stream or any. So it is open for all the streams. It's a pretty good advantage of banking. Next thing is, it is a wide option because it has a lot of opportunities. Every time in every country, the economy is growing day by day. We can take example of India. In last 2 years, it has grown from its 7th position in economic growth to number 1 position. So this has created a lot of economic opportunities in India. Next thing, that it is a very luxurious job. You do not have to do physical work in banking. Simply you have to sit in an air conditioned room and do finance and organize financial documents and financial works. Next. As I said, the economic opportunities are growing very fast. So if you want to grow very fast in your career, if you are really very ambitious about growing fast in your career, banking is for you. Banking professionals are required throughout the year. Like initially in past there used to be only state banks, means government banks, public sector banks. So there were a limited amount of opportunities. But nowadays, after privatization of banking, when every year a lot of private banks are being opened in the country, the opportunities has scaled up very high. Next thing is that the salaries, if you are lucky enough to get placed abroad in a foreign bank, then you will be given a high amount of salary and your life will be very much luxurious. Now I would like to tell you about the posts. What are the posts in banking, so that you know who actually are the employees in banking sector and what actually they do. These are the posts: general manager, accountant, cashier, clerks. Their salary are respectively 50 to 1 lakh, 35 to 45, 25 to 30, 20, 25, which keep changing. So these are the current updates. It keeps changing throughout years. Now let's know about what actually a person do. First come to general manager. Like there used to be some brands. Like if you go to a shop and buy a cold drink, maybe you take Pepsi and doesn't take 7up. Why? Because you believe in Pepsi. You have a faith in Pepsi. That is what a brand creates. A faith that is created in customer towards the product. So general manager responsibility is mainly to create a brand of its brand. Its main responsibility is to create a relationship with customers, to meet government officials and make a professional relationship with the bank and the government. It also will clarify the employee relationship with the brand, because employees are the who make the brand which promotes the brand to a next level. Next thing is manager. Manager is who promotes the brand. Like general manager makes the brand and manager promotes the product. Whatever products are being launched in a bank, maybe any life insurance scheme, any loan scheme, any different type of products that are launched every month in a bank. His main function is to promote that product and increase the satisfaction level of the customers. Cashier, very well known from the name, it does all the works related to cash. It check statements, process payments, make money transfers, update account details. Means everything related to cash is what cashier do. Next thing is accountant. All the account details, all the documents financially is controlled by accountant. He makes all the documents, he keeps updates of all the documents that are maintained in a bank. Next is clerk. Clerk is just his main duty is to keep the documents maintained and keep the records updated. Whatever the records and documents are created by accountant, his main duty is to maintain and update it. Eligibility criteria. When and how can we know that we need to apply to this post and we are eligible enough for this post? For clerical post, obviously you have to be a citizen of India if you want to work in an Indian bank. Next thing is that you should have passed +2 and graduation with 60%, minimum 60% of marks, and the age limit. The age limit is from 18 to 28 years, which may vary in some banks, like in some private banks, it is at 25 years. And the age limit, actually the upper age limit is exaggerated to 5 years limit in case of categories other than general categories like SC, ST, OBC and physically handicapped. As I said, in some banks the maximum age limit may be 25 years, and even you don't need graduation in some banks for a clerical post. But you must have a diploma degree which proves that you have a brief knowledge of finance and banking. For PO, probationary officer, first thing you must be a citizen of India, and next thing your age limit must be within 21 to 30 years old. You must have a minimum of 60% marks in graduation and +2. One extra thing that you need for PO post is that you must have a good knowledge of computer, especially MS Office. There are two types of banks. One is public sector bank and another is private sector bank. Public sector banks are those whose more than 50% share is held by the government. There are about 27 PSBs in India, 19 national banks, 6 state banks, 1 IDBI bank and 1 Bharti Mahila bank. Next is private banks. The banks whose major share is owned by a private individual or a private company. There are many private banks in India like Axis, HDFC, ICICI and Kotak Mahindra Bank. Now let's come to the examinations and competitions through which you get into the banking career. The first is SSB. It is conducted each and every year by public sector bank for various posts. It includes questions of accounts, maths and GK. It is basically objective type questions. After qualifying it, you have to go through personal interview, which is the final round in every type of interview, every type of opportunities or competitions you will face in banking career. Next is IBPS, Institute of Banking Personal Selection. The first round is common written examination. It is conducted twice every year, and the successful candidates are selected for all public sector banks and private sector banks after this examination. Simply the process is you have to go to the official website of IBPS, go and register yourself at the website. When after you are successfully registered, you will be sent a letter with exam menu and exam date. So simply go and give the exam, and if you succeed the exam, you will be called for an interview. So finally comes in every examination the interview. The final barrier of banking is interview. So you should be pretty much prepared with the interview thing. Talking about the tips to give a better interview is two things. I basically from my experience say two things that matter in interview is confidence and honesty. Confidence is a very big thing for succeeding in an interview. You should be very much confident with your financial and banking skills before entering an interview increase your confidence level, you should go through your subject knowledge of banking and finance. You should revise it thoroughly before entering into an interview. Second thing is honesty. Be honest to what you know. Any question that is asked to you, you should speak to the point. Don't go around the question and try to make fool of the interviewer, because they are very much experienced than you. Next thing is, be dressed formally. The dress code matters, so be dressed formally and speak boldly with confidence. Next thing, that you should prove yourself. You should give examples from your daily life to impress the interview that you are a target oriented person, you are a solution oriented person. Your impression is what will make you succeed the interview. This is all about the banking. Now, for further queries, you can ping us on the Facebook page of Disha Counseling Forum. Thank you.